Everything spilled, the eggs shattered, and I thought I was alone. Then he knelt down beside me, and I asked, "Do you want to have dinner with me?"
Ever heard the saying, the way to a man's heart is through his stomach? Well, my story is a bit of a twist on that. It all started with my grandmother's legendary meatloaf recipe. I was determined to recreate it, a taste of home I desperately missed. I had the recipe card, stained and worn, clutched in my hand like a treasure map. The mission, Operation Meatloaf. I headed to the market, filled with confidence. I carefully picked out every single ingredient, the ground beef, the breadcrumbs, the secret blend of spices my grandma swore by. My basket was overflowing. I paid, feeling triumphant, and walked out into the sunshine. Then, disaster struck. I don't know if I tripped over my own feet or a crack in the pavement, but suddenly, I was airborne, and so were my groceries. Onions rolled into the street, a carton of eggs made a sad splatter on the sidewalk, and my precious ground beef landed with a soft thud right near a stranger's very nice shoes. I was mortified. I just knelt there, staring at the mess, ready to cry. But then, a kind voice said, "Whoa, that looks like a rough day. Let me help you with that." I looked up, and there he was, a man with the kindest eyes I'd ever seen. He didn't laugh. He just started helping me gather what was salvageable. He even ran back into the store to buy me a new carton of eggs. I was so touched. As we stood there with the slightly battered remains of my shopping trip, I did something completely out of character. I said, "Well, I was trying to make my grandma's famous meatloaf. It might be a bit of a disaster now, but would you like to come for dinner and see how it turns out?" To my absolute shock, he smiled and said yes. That night, we cooked together in my tiny kitchen, laughing as we tried to salvage the recipe. The meatloaf, honestly, was a bit of a mess, but the company was perfect. We talked for hours, long after the plates were cleared. And that, my friends, is the story of how a disastrous attempt at making meatloaf led me to the love of my life. Sometimes, the most beautiful things come from the biggest messes. Thanks for listening to my little story. If you enjoyed it, please give this video a like and subscribe for more. See you next time.